Hey ladies and gents, welcome to the Talking Music YouTube channel where musicians, producers and artists alike come to learn how to get a professional sound that will compete on a commercial level. And in today's video, I'll be sharing my top 10 free VST plugins for mixing music. Now, these are top 10 plugins from a list that I created of 100 free VST plugins. Now, I'll put the link to this blog post in the description below, so make sure that you check out the description to visit the blog post so that you can check out the 100 best free VST plugins. So in this video, I've selected 10 out of all these 100 plugins that I usually use the most and I highly recommend. So I'm going to give you small demonstrations of how they sound and you can check them out on my blog post, which I'll link in the description. So let's get started then. Then the first plugin that you're going to check out is called Back of Dog. Now, I can't seem to get this plugin registered. I've tried everything I can, but it's a free plugin, so no need to worry. Maybe there's something that I missed when I was installing the plugin or something, or it's Cubase, I don't know. But it's a totally free plugin. So let's check it out. Basically, it's a bass enhancer plugin. So I'll test it on the kick out. This is the classic mode. I prefer to put it on passive. Check it out on passive mode. As you can hear, it beefs up the kick and makes it more punchy and it adds more thump to the kick. Let's check it out with and without. As you can hear, the kick now has more body and more thump to it, so it becomes more punchy. And this plugin can also be used to thicken up thin vocals. So if you have vocals that are sounding too thin, then what you can do is to... Let me show you the problem I'm having with this plugin. So what it does is that it can thicken up your vocals if your vocals are sounding too thin. As you can see, it says valid serial number, but nothing happens. So I always just click continue to trial and then use it as is. Check it out on the vocals. Let me solo the vocals so that you can check it out.
Vole le vent. Mon doigt, tu vois rien, tu es bête, de bête, tu ignores ta mouchette. Elle se tient, tu la tiens par ta barbichette. De bête, tu ignores ta mouchette. Le premier qui rira aura une tapette.
It's not a huge difference, but it does thicken up the vocal and it enhances the vocals. So let's check out the different modes. For vocal thickening, I always put it on combo.
Incroyable, petite mouche espion sur ta table, cachée derrière un gros melon, impatiente. Elle veut faire tes bébés, imprudente. Et puis qu'elle meurt, elle veut ton corps.
For this vocal, the classic mode works even better. So I hope you can hear the difference.
Mouche qui colle dans tes cheveux, rayon quand elle te voit sûrement. Un jour tu verras la mouche qui saute sur ta pommette. Sa silhouette d'argent vole le vent. Mon doigt, tu vois rien.
It only adds weight to the vocals. It doesn't create a huge difference. And one thing that I like to do is to put it on mid, since this is a mono channel. I'll do the same thing to the kick as well. Just put it on the mid section instead of affecting the stereo, because This is a mono channel as well. So that's our first plugin. It's called Back of Dog. And I'll put the link in the description where you can download all these plugins. The second plugin that I want to demonstrate is the Transpire. It's a transient shaper and it's a really great sounding transient shaper. Unlike other free transient shapers that don't make any difference or create artifacts, this one sounds really clean and it does its job very well. Check it out. So this is the attack. If I want to increase the attack, if I want to remove the attack, I'll bring it down. As you can hear, now you can only hear the sustain of the clap. But if your clap is not getting punchy, or if you have a snare drum that is not punchy enough, then you can use this Transpire plugin to add more punch to it or increase the attack. Check it out. Now, this is the sustain parameter. So what you can do with the sustain is to make your sounds longer or shorter. Check it out. As you can hear, this is increasing the tail of the clap. But if I decrease it, it will make it shorter. So now you can only hear the attack. So if you want to add more punch to your sound, this is how you would set it. Something like this. It's a really great transient shaper. I highly recommend it. And let's check it out on the kick as well. The kick out. Now, instead of using an equalizer, busy sweeping the spectrum, trying to find the attack of the kick, I would simply use this Transpire plugin just to increase the attack of the kick. Now, I can do the opposite for the kick out. Check it out. I'm doing this just because I've already added attack on the kick in. So obviously you'd want to do the opposite on the kick out. You don't want to increase the attack on everything in your mix. Then that way you won't have a contrast and it won't sound good. Some sounds have to be punchy while some sounds don't necessarily need to be punchy in a mix. So I would use maybe the same settings for tom drums. If they were in a fill, this is the same settings that I would use, or similar. And check it out. This is the attack and this will be the sustain of the kick. Check it out. And this is without. This is with. As you can hear, when it's like this, the kick will definitely cut through the mix nicely. So I highly recommend Transpire. It's a great transient shaper. Check it out. And then let's move on This is the 1176 emulation by Audio Tools. Now, this is basically a compressor, which is modeled after the classic 1176. What I like about it is that it also has 2:1 ratio, unlike the Waves CLA 76, which doesn't have a ratio of 2. It only has a ratio of 4:1. CLA 1, it's modeled after the original 1176. So this one is a bit modeled just like the UAD one. So let's check it out. Also has a really fast attack time. As you can hear, it brings up the punchiness and the attack of the kick. It also has a drive knob to add some overdrive and distortion. And it also has a parallel parameter, so you can do parallel compression right straight from the plugin, which is a really great feature. This is a great plugin. You should definitely check it out and have it in your tools. And then let's move on. Oh, let's check out with and without, of course. More punch, more character, and it definitely does its job very, very well. It's a free plugin. Make sure that you check it out. And then let's move on to another plugin. In this case, we'll check out the Temper, which is a distortion plugin. We'll use the bass for this example, just to add some saturation and drive to the bass. Now, the good thing about this plugin is that there's a visual presentation of what you're doing and how you're affecting the sound. So it makes things very, very easy. A really great sounding distortion plugin. You can do a lot of things with it. It also has a feedback parameter. The thing about it is that it takes away a lot of transients and reduces the bass. So you can use it on different sounds that don't need any bass at all. So it's a great sounding plugin. Temper, check it out. And then an amp emulation by Voxengo, a really great tube amp. Check it out. It also adds some warmth and drive to a sound. So with this plugin enabled, you can be able to feel the bass instead of hearing it more. So it's a really great plugin. It adds warmth to a bass sound, or like your guitars, if you want to add a tube amp to your sounds, then this is a definitely great plugin. Now, the thing I love about it is that I want you to listen to the bass with and without. Even though the bass is becoming way louder, but you can feel the bass instead of hearing the bass. So if you have a kick that is dominating the lower bass frequencies, then you can use this plugin to make sure that your bass is more felt instead of fighting for space, for the same space with your kick drum. But if you have a kick that is in the upper frequencies and you want the bass to dominate the lower subs and the lower bass frequencies, then you don't need to use this plugin. You can only use it if you want to feel the bass instead of hearing it. A really great plugin, definitely most recommended. And then another plugin that is an emulation of the LA2A by Sonic Anomaly. So let's check it out.
Sa silhouette d'argent vervole le vent. Mon doigt, tu vois rien, tu es bête, de bête, tu ignores ta mouchette. Elle se tient, tu la tiens, incroyable. Petite mouche espion sur ta table, cachée derrière un gros melon, impatiente. Elle veut faire tes bébés, imprudente. Et puis qu'elle mord, elle veut ton corps, mouche, qui colle dans tes cheveux, rayon quand elle te voit sûrement. Un jour tu verras la mouche qui saute sur ta pommette, sa silhouette d'argent vervole le vent. Mon doigt, tu vois rien, tu es bête, de bête, tu ignores ta mouchette.
As you can see, it has a parameter for you to choose whether you want the compressor or if you only want the limiter or both. So a really great emulation, and as you can hear, it sounds pretty clean and it adds nice character to the sound. A really great plugin that I highly recommend. Make sure that you check it out. Definitely works well for bass sounds and vocals as well. And then let's move on. Next, we'll check out the Multiplier. This is a chorus plugin. Let me give you an example of what a chorus plugin sounds like. A chorus effect. So I'll use it on this clavinet. One thing that I love about this chorus effect is that it also has a stereo spread parameter. So I'll disengage this for now. Check it out. And it also has an equalizer. If you don't want the higher frequencies of the chorus to mess up with your sound, then you can decrease the higher frequencies. And EQ is always handy for any effect. Always handy. So a chorus effect really works great and it doesn't push the sound at the back of the mix. And one thing I love about this plugin is that it will spread out your sound in the stereo image. So check it out with and without. As you can hear, it thickens it up. At the same time, it widens the clavinet. So it will definitely fit well in the mix because without, it sounds too narrow. Check it out. But with, it will sound more open and thick. A really great plugin. We must definitely check this one out. And then let's move on to a vocal tabla by iZotope. Now, I'm using this on the send, but you can definitely use it as an insert. I'm just using it as I said because I want to send it to all my vocal parts. Check it out on the lead vocal.
Incroyable, petite mouche espion sur ta table, cachette derrière un gros melon, impatiente. Elle veut faire tes bébés, imprudente. Et puis qu'elle mord, elle veut encore mouche qui colle dans tes cheveux, rayon quand elle te voit sûrement. Un jour tu verras la mouche qui saute sur ta pommette, sa silhouette d'argent vers le vent.
As you can hear, it doubles up the vocal and make it sound more thicker and fuller. Check it out without.
Incroyable, petite mouche espion sur ta table, cachette derrière un gros melon, impatiente. Elle veut faire tes bébés, imprudente. Et puis qu'elle mord, elle veut encore mouche qui colle dans tes cheveux, rayon quand elle te voit sûrement. Un jour tu verras la mouche.
It's really great plugin, straightforward, and it does make a huge difference in the mix. And then that's it for the vocal tabla. Let's move on to the reverb. For the reverb, I have the old school Voxengo Verb. So let's check it out.
Incroyable, petite mouche espion sur ta table, cachette derrière un gros melon, impatiente. Elle veut faire tes bébés, imprudente. Et puis qu'elle mord, elle veut encore mouche qui colle dans tes cheveux, rayon quand elle te voit sûrement. Un jour tu verras la mouche qui saute sur ta pommette, sa silhouette d'argent vers le vent. Mon doigt tu vois rien, tu es bête, de bête, tu ignores ta mouchette. Elle se tient, tu la tiens par ta barbichette. De bête, tu ignores ta mouchette. Le premier qui rira aura une tapette.
A really great sounding reverb and it's clean. And one thing I love about this plugin is that you can be able to only listen to the reverb. Check it out.
Incroyable, petite mouche espion sur ta table, cachette derrière un gros melon.
So you can disable the dry signal and only listen to the affected signal. That's a really great feature. So you can definitely find great settings for your vocals. It just makes it easy. So check it out with and without.
Incroyable, petite mouche espion sur ta table.
Obviously, you'll blend it according to your taste and depending on the mix. And one other thing is that you can add width to the affected vocal only without affecting the dry signal.
Incroyable, petite mouche espion.
So it makes the reverb more wider.
Incroyable, petite mouche espion sur ta table, cachette derrière un gros melon, impatiente. Elle veut faire tes bébés, imprudente. Et puis qu'elle mord, elle veut encore.
It's a great free plugin and it's definitely worth a price. I don't know why this is free because it's a really great sounding reverb plugin. I definitely use it in most cases. So definitely check it out. And let's move on to the next plugin. One of my most favorite plugin. This one, I use it in all my mixes. The thing I love about this plugin is that I can be able to see the difference between the mono signal and the sides. Check it out. The green light is the mono channel, and then the red one is the sides. So I can be able to see if my sides are louder than the mono channel and then improve my mix to make sure that the mono channel is always louder than the side signal. And it's basically an analyzer, so I don't need to explain an analyzer. Make sure that you check it out. It's totally free. Great analyzing plugin. I don't know anyone who doesn't use Voxengo SPAN. Everyone recommends it. I recommend it. And it's a great plugin. Check it out. And then let's see if there's anything that I left out. I think we have everything covered. Yeah. We have everything covered. Those are my 10 favorite plugins out of a list of the top 100 plugins. So I'll put the link to this blog post in the description. Make sure that you checked it out. And that's it for today. I hope you found value in this tutorial. If you found it useful, make sure that you smash the like button. Click subscribe if you haven't done so. Don't forget to click the bell so that YouTube can notify you every time I upload a new video. We'll talk again tomorrow. And don't forget to check out talkingmusic.com/books if you want more tutorials about mixing and mastering as well. Take good care. Cheers.